This man from Florida, known as the crossover killer, was sentenced to life imprisonment at the age of 19 for murdering a couple in cold blood. It looked like nothing could have been worse for the victims, the parents of the victims, the youthful perpetrator, in the state. But things would get worse and make the state desperate to charge Leo Boatman with a punishment more severe than a life sentence, a death sentence. What went wrong? Let's begin from the beginning. In early January 2006, two community college students from Gainesville, Florida, 26-year-old Amber Peck and 26-year-old John Parker, decided to camp at the hidden pond in Ocala Forest. Little did they know what was coming for them on that beautiful night. Or to be precise, who? 19-year-old Leo Boatman followed them into the forest and opened a barrage of fire at them from close range, killing both of them. The bodies were found a day later. Leo was brought in with the help of several pieces of evidence that tied him with the crime. However, there was not a defined motive. He was given a life sentence at the age of 19, but unbelievably, the imprisonment was not the stop of Leo's killing carnage, and he would become the worst nightmare for jail inmates. He left several victims in his wake. In all of this, there's one thing that can bring closure to Leo's file, a confession for each of his crimes. This interrogation took place to get a concrete admission that proves his involvement in the Ocala couple murders, his first crime, and strengthen the case against him. It's important to note that his past was as grim as his crime. It provides an understanding of his psychological issues, which manifested in his becoming a serial killer or psychopath who gained satisfaction from exerting authority through killing people. Will this interrogation reflect the violence built in within Leo? Moreover, he seems accustomed to such confrontations, which is why he doesn't flinch. Let's find out if the detectives were able to achieve their goal.
They're here. I'm about to bring them in down the hallway and introduce you to them. You want some water or anything? Yes, guys. Time is 12:52, just afternoon time. Mark and Laura, they came from Clearwater.
Hey Leo, how you doing? Kind of hard to shake hands there, but...
Let me get one more chair for you guys, and then I'm going to get out of your hair.
Okay. Sergeant Owens called us and said that you wanted to talk to us about something that happened down in Clearwater. We're detectives with Clearwater Police Department in the Robbery Homicide Unit. And I know Sergeant Owens from cases in the past, and he called and said that, you wanted to talk to us about some stuff. Is that correct?
Somewhat. I mean, I told him everything. He just said it was a chance to, wipe your slate clean. I just said, well,
okay.
I admit, but I didn't say I want to, have a long, drawn-out discussion.
Okay, well, we're here for you, okay? Obviously, it's our case because it happened in our jurisdiction. So, you need to tell us what happened.
Somewhat. I don't want to, dig my grave, but
okay.
I just basically.
Well, we're trying to find out what happened. We had a homicide, and we're trying to find out what happened. And from what you told Sergeant Owens, you may have had some involvement in it. And that's what we just want to find out is what you know about it. Okay, so if you just want to go over what you told him, and we'll go from there. Is that okay with you? Okay. Well, why don't you go over what you told Sergeant Owens about what happened down in Clearwater. Okay.
Basically, we were talking, and yes, it's time to wipe your slate clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, I told him about what happened down here, and then he said, "Is there anything else?" And I said, "Yeah, there's another thing about Nelson County involving a guy in a white car."
Okay.
And then I said, "I never want to talk about it anymore."
Okay. Well, what we need to find out is, I need you to give me a little bit more information than it was a guy in a white car because, we need to know whether it was you or whether, we're here on the wrong case and this may have happened somewhere else. Where did it happen? Do you remember where you were?
Well, obviously it happened where I live. Clearwater.
But where in Clearwater? Where were you?
See, but if I talk, though, I know I'm digging my own grave. If I tell everything. I did just like with them. I said,
I know, but I understand that. But you're saying you want to wipe the slate clean. Obviously, you already mentioned enough.
I just kind of wanted to, wipe it. When I was at wipe the slate clean, it's like just get it off my conscience.
Right.
I don't know about.
The thing here is getting off the conscience, because otherwise, you're saying you're involved in this, and meanwhile, there's other people that their lives are being disrupted because they're the suspects in it, okay? Whereas we can put it to rest today and end it. That way we know what happened and who's involved, so we don't have to bother these other people. I mean, that's the thing. You told him enough in the notes that you know stuff about it and everything, but we've got to make sure that you are the person involved, okay? Because sometimes people say they're involved.
Then I'm digging my own grave, though. I mean, if there's other suspects, then...
Well, I mean, you're already in jail, right?
Grant.
I mean, it's not like, suddenly we're going to handcuff you and throw you in jail.
Another charge. It's just...
It appears to be a poor beginning to the interrogation from the detective's end, because after breaking so many, Leo now knows his laws. On one hand, Leo is apprehensive about his situation and adding another charge to his already developed rap sheet. On the other hand, the detective's opening to the interview does not do anything to comfort him into speaking, and the line, "You're already in jail," seems like a lousy way to make him come clean. What other strategies do they have in store?
We at least need to know enough that we can say, not enough to prosecute you, but that we can say enough to feel confident that, yeah, Leo's the one that did this. We don't need to waste our time pulling all these other people in. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not going to hurt you. You're already in jail. You're already up here in jail. It's not like...
You've already cleaned the slate with him and talked about the other one with 2 victims. I mean, this is another one down in Pinellas County.
That's the one up here is obviously, the biggie. Ours is kind of small potatoes compared to that one.
Can't say. Well, I could say I was really messed up.
Okay.
Well, and that's also your time to give us that opportunity to figure it out, to explain why. I mean, you're saying you're messed up, so we...
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I was drunk.
Right, but I mean...
And if you check him, you probably find out that,
Okay, what kind of drugs were you using?
Me, I mean, I was on, drunk and, marijuana.
Just smoke pot. What did he use?
Well, I know he smoked pot. I don't know what else he used. I would figure he did cocaine because,
How did you know him? Let me ask you.
I didn't really know him. Just kind of random, but it's kind of when you kind of in that world, you know everybody,
right?
First time you meet them and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And you stayed in the trailer park right down on Florida Largo Road. Mm-hmm. Which one was it?
Well, I stayed there. Well, I had just moved there, Keystone. Mm-hmm. And I used to live at Highland, off of Highland.
Obviously, in Florida, you'd buy some marijuana. Where would you go to buy your marijuana?
Now you want me to give away them?
You don't need to give me a name. I just want to know what area of town you'd go.
We'd meet in several different places down by the beach. I mean, not actually on the beach, right, because it's kind of, a lot of...
It's a busy area and a lot of cops.
But we'd go off of... You go down Gulf to Bay and you know where the Dairy Pro is. Mm-hmm. Back there, kind of quiet neighborhood.
Okay.
And we'd go all around.
Did you ever go... did you go up to Greenwood? You know where Greenwood is? The black area?
Greenwood is was my stomping ground, and Betty Lane and all of that.
Okay.
And then but we try to stay out of there because that's hot now too. It's a lot different than what it used to be when I was growing up.
Did you always live down in the Clearwater area? I know you spent a lot of time in juvenile detention and stuff.
Always. Clearwater, my family home is on Lotus Path off a lake. Yeah. So that was my family home. It still belongs to family, but it's being rented out right now.
Okay.
So, I lived in St. Pete also, but, it was always Pinellas County, basically, except for a short stint in Holiday.
Okay.
"Don't give us enough to charge you" is a statement that is soon going to take center stage during this interrogation. However, this is a strategic deception on the part of the detectives, because it's not possible for Leo to provide evidence confirming his involvement in the murder of the Ocala couple without resulting in additional charges or strengthening the case against him.
Where did I meet him?
Yeah.
Actually, when I first met him, it was down on Turner Dock. That's when I first met him. Okay. Or first saw him. Didn't meet him. I was just there with the maintenance.
Did you guys ever talk? Did you guys ever talk?
No.
Did you know his name?
No, it wasn't like that. It was like person that dealt cocaine. I wasn't doing cocaine, and I don't know if he was or not. Just a person that did down there, so you didn't really talk. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys just both went there to buy it? Is that how you first?
I didn't go to buy it.
Okay.
I had friends that did.
Okay, so you were with them, and you guys met on Turner Street Dock, and that's where you saw him?
That's the first time I saw him. I didn't meet him. I didn't know his name or anything like that.
Okay.
And then I just knew someone that knew him.
Okay.
And the next time I saw him, it was because of the night that I saw him. It was because of you.
What kind of car did you drive?
It was a white car, kind of plain ordinary.
Was it like small or big? Or?
Small. It wasn't big. It's not many, but it wasn't big.
Okay.
Kind of like surprisingly, a lot of people have that here.
Remember anything about the car?
Windows, wheels, anything?
Car wasn't really that special. I was never really around this car.
Okay, nothing though that's, I mean, it didn't have like fancy rims or anything like that as far as you remember?
Not fancy, like spree wheels and stuff like that.
Yeah, or spinners or anything like that. Just, what did the guy look like?
So I was never really up like that with him.
Okay, but when you talked to him, when you saw him on the docks.
He was probably a little bit taller than me, probably.
How tall are you?
I think like...
Oh, 5'9". Okay.
Yeah.
What about weight? Was he like your builder?
He wasn't skinny, if that's what you mean.
Okay. Was he like you? I mean, you're not a skinny guy. You're pretty well built. I mean, was he bigger than you? Or?
I don't know. I don't see myself. I see myself as skinny.
Well, I mean, no, you're not. I mean, you've got some muscles on you. You're not like skin and bones.
I want to say like he was like body built, muscular, but he wasn't skinny. You know,
okay.
He was regular.
Just so normal, yeah. Not really big, but not really skinny. Okay. What about his
shoulders were a little broader. He had dark hair.
Okay. What about his skin? Was he like real light skin like me, or was he kind of medium? Or?
He'd be more tan than you.
Okay. Most people are more tan than me. Except him.
I don't know if I want to say that.
Well, I mean,
because if I say the exact date, then...
But if you tell me it's a wrong date, then...
The reason we're here is obviously...
I don't want to be charged with that. I'm just cleaning my slate.
Well, I know you want to clean your slate, and you've already cleaned your slate with what happened up here. Okay, and that's why we're just trying to clean the slate with what's down there instead of this lingering on.
I mean,
I'll say this.
Do you not want to go...
It was around, huh?
I mean...
Do I not want...
I mean, is there a problem down there? I mean, with this charge, or you don't want to go back to Pinellas County, or what?
There's not a problem down there. If anything, it's just I don't want to put certain people in jeopardy because it's not a problem with me.
We're not here to put anyone else in jeopardy, okay? But we're here if you truly want to get everything behind you, clean the slate, and move on. Is to get this taken care of.
I'll say this much about the time frame. It was right around the time that this happened. I'm not saying it's either before or after, but it was right around that time.
Okay.
It's not that, it's just like press wires, right? They're finally just laying off people down there. I don't want to mess with people.
We're not going after it. Are you talking about your family and stuff? Yeah, we're not. That's why if you help us out and you clean the slate and we get everything from you, we don't have to go talk to any of those people, okay?
It's not entirely clear whether what we just saw has hints of a flirtatious exchange. The person Leo seems most apprehensive about affecting, aside from his partner, is his sister. In 2005, at the age of 19, he was recently released from Omega Juvenile Prison in Manatee County. He moved in with his uncle, Victor Boatman, a convicted sex offender, and got a job as a dishwasher at Hooters. For some time, he stayed out of trouble and planned to become a veterinary technician. However, darkness stirred within Leo before long, leading him to kill the Ocala couple. Throughout these chaotic years, Leo kept the connection between himself and his sister alive. But let's see if the detectives can extract more personal information to play their cards right against him.
Okay, but I mean, I know you're saying you want to get your slate clean, okay? And like I told you early on in the interview, if you're not comfortable doing it, you don't have to give me enough that I can put charges on you right now and haul you back down to Pinellas County. Okay, you don't have to give me that much, but you've got to give me enough that I can say with confidence, at least that we can close out our case and say, yeah, it looks like Leo probably did it. We can close out our case and we don't have to worry about it anymore, but not necessarily enough that I can charge you. You know what I mean? There's a fine line. You don't need to give me a full taped confession about details, but I need to get enough from you that at least I can say, looks like Leo did it. He's got the deal up there in Ocala. We don't need to worry about charging him in our case because he's got that to worry about. But I mean, you got to give me enough that I can know with confidence that you probably did my case and that I don't need to go looking at anybody else for it. You know what I mean? You don't have to give me all the details so that I have enough to charge you and, can put charge on you and haul you down to Pinellas County today, but I got to know enough from you that I can say, yeah, it looks like you did my case. We can close it out from our perspective. You know what I mean?
For your own sake, today, with everything that's gone on, now you have the opportunity to just get everything behind you.
Well, down here, I'm just going to plead guilty to my charges, so I don't really care. So,
Well, pleading guilty for this here compared to the Pinellas County. Pinellas County isn't, you had two people up here. That's why just get it all done into one thing, instead of lengthening it out. If you really want to, if your true intention is to clear the slate and get it all over, that's, you've already said enough to the other detectives, but, we've got to hear from you.
I just said it was me.
Well, that doesn't clear the slate completely because we're going to keep going,
it's not enough for me to feel confident that, yeah, you did it. All you said.
Well, I don't mind if y'all think I did it, though.
But that doesn't work
I
for
cleared my part.
Well, I know, but I can't lay every unsolved homicide. I know.
Yeah, just.
But I can't lay. I'd more than likely love to lay every unsolved homicide we have on you just because you're willing to tell me that you did them. Mm-hmm. But I need to be able to feel confident that you did it and that you give me enough that I can close my case. But like I said, you don't have to give me enough that I can charge you. You just need to give me enough that I can feel confident that you did it. The main thing you need to worry about is up here because, like you said, those were two people. Ours was a guy down in Clearwater, used drugs. There's not a lot of what we call jury appeal, for his case down there. So our case is definitely not what you need to be concerned with. I just need to know enough that I can feel confident that you did it so I can close my case out. Not necessarily, slap an advisory on you and haul you back down to Pinellas County. You just need to give me enough so that I know you don't need to give me, this other third party or anything like that.
I'm not looking to get anyone else involved, okay? But
somebody has rehearsed their lines, but clearly not enough to make a difference. The inherent flaw in the strategy of you give us something and it will help us lies in the imbalance. The only question that matters to Leo is what's in it for him? Talking to Leo's conscience doesn't seem wise, given that he's a serial killer. Will this dynamic lead to a breakthrough?
If you're going to plead guilty up here and everything, obviously it's going to take some time because it's a big case and everything. And even if you're willing to plead guilty, it's going to take some time. But I need you to give me enough so I can say, I'm confident that Leo did this. We just need to put this case on hold until he's done up there. That's why, can I just ask you a couple specific questions about it and you just answer those for me if you're comfortable doing that?
Shot once.
Okay. What kind of gun was it?
It was a handgun. I'm not gun. Believe it or not, I'm not very gun specific. It was just smaller. It was small.
Was it
it didn't hold that many rounds.
Was it a revolver or was it a semi-auto?
It was semi-auto, like just
the one that has the magazines. The revolver has the wheel. It had a magazine.
It was small.
What color was it?
It was the color was silverish, but had a black grip on it. But instead of a regular black, the pistol grip, it also has something where you can push up on it. It's like it doesn't come with the gun.
Where did you get the gun? That gun?
It's this problem.
Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Where's the gun now?
A person still has it. It belongs to someone else.
Did they know it was used in a killing?
No, they don't know it was used, and they still have it. And they never even knew it was gone.
Where did you get the ammo for it? Was it already in it?
I had to replace it.
Okay. Well, what did you buy something to replace it?
No, I didn't buy it.
You just got it from somebody?
No. Just one. Do you know where you hit them at?
Were you in a car? Were you in a car?
Was I in a car?
Yeah.
Like I said, the person would probably know something happened.
Well, I mean, I'm just asking you. When you fired the gun, were you in a car?
When I fired the gun?
Yeah. You were out of the car?
I was near a car too. Not thinking of the sound.
What do you mean you were near a car? I mean, had you just gotten out of a car?
No, I mean, I was there. I don't want to, because, I mean, if I say it, then that person's going to know.
Well, you don't have to tell me who the car is.
And then that person's going to know.
But that's not going to help me. Just telling me, I was outside of a car. Or
Yeah, I wasn't in a car.
You were not in a car. The car that you just got out of, was that car still there when the shooting happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So there would have been the victim's car and then the car that you got out of, correct?
Right.
Okay. What kind of, tell me just color, the car that you were in.
Because everybody knows. I only have one person. I mean, they don't know him that good, but everybody knows.
Okay.
him.
So they were there when you shot this other person, correct?
They weren't right. They were pretty much out of it. I basically had to drive that person home.
They were drunk?
I mean, they were out of it.
Everything.
Okay. Now, where did the guy you shot? Where did you park? Where was your car parked at?
I can't remember. I'm telling you, I was.
Why did you pick that spot? I mean, how did you get out of the car there?
That's when I finally caught up with the person.
Okay. So did you?
We were driving around. I was driving around looking for the person.
Okay. And then you found him in that area. Okay. So did you pull your car up next to them, or were you behind them, or where were you?
No, we didn't bring our car up. I mean, we drove by him like 3 times just to make sure we followed him around.
Okay, but I mean, if in relationship to where their car was, where was your car?
When he was shot?
Yeah. That's not going to tell me who you were with. Where was your car in relation? I mean, was it close by?
Next to it.
Although Leo has said that he wants to clear his conscience, his story has holes. That gun that Leo is talking about is not the one he shot the couple with. Leo and his uncle, 38-year-old Victor Boatman, had been in possession of an unloaded AK-47 rifle. On January 3rd, Leo took the rifle and fled into the Ocala National Forest. After committing the murders there, he bought a pellet gun. He later attempted to convince detectives and the court that the pellet gun was the weapon used in the killings to reduce his charges. His wickedness doesn't stop there. There was more in store. But there was more to the story.
I wasn't in the car.
You got out of the car, but did you leave your car parked there right next to his?
To the corner.
Okay.
But I remember going not by the gas station with the road we came down, but we went up to a road, and then we turned, and then we went down this road, and we passed that gas station, and we went back up to East Bank. We went all the way through the neighborhood, drove around, I mean, kind of whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That, I had it.
Big car, big rims.
Big car, big rims.
The car you were in.
Now you do realize that, our thing, of course, is to get that gun off the street, that he might face some problems later.
I think the gun's legal.
It doesn't, but, it's going to come back to this shooting.
Not if he doesn't do it. I mean, if he does something illegal with it, yeah.
Well, if he's ever caught with it, I'm just saying. You're saying he's not involved, I understand that, but just so you know, by not letting us get that gun back, he may face the music on that one day. That's something I don't want to see happen if he's really not involved, if it's you're the one that did the shooting.
Yeah, but then he'll be in some serious.
No, he's a witness. It's not serious because you're admitting to doing the shooting. He's just a witness, but it's keeping him from later on.
He could be an accomplice.
You're saying you did everything, okay? He's a witness, okay? That's not the important thing is to get the gun off the street.
But they're not. He and they won't understand that if they come and you have a murder weapon.
Well, they're going to understand. But it's not going to be us that come. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is down the road.
If anybody goes,
Are these guys white guys or black guys?
No, they're mainly black, but the one dude, he's white.
The main one.
Yeah. Well, the one I was with
is a white guy.
The owner of the gun's white.
Okay. Was it just you and he in the car, or were there others in the car?
Just me.
You sure? There were others in the car, weren't there? Come on, Leo. There were others in the car. Just tell me that. You're not telling me who they are.
Well, I don't know them. I mean,
okay, but there were more than just you and he in the car. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Leo is not a novice in the interrogation chair. The violence that he has been a part of during his short life has paved his way through encounters with law enforcement, criminal court, and prison. After the Ocala murders, while serving his sentence, he tried killing a man named Rick Morris, for which he was charged with attempted murder. Next, he joined forces with the Mayport monster William Wells, a mass murderer, and together they would execute another disturbing crime, the merciless stabbing of William Chapman. He knows his way around an interrogation, which is why he's hesitant to give details that could alter his position in the courtroom regarding the Ocala murders.
Okay, you know what I mean? You passed him. You passed him.
Right, we were
and pulled over. Right. And then you got out of the car.
Yeah,
how close would you say, at the point where you shot him, the car that you got out of, how close was that to his car? You know what I mean? I mean, was it like right there, or was it...
Our car close?
Yeah.
Well, eventually he passed it. Yeah, it would be right there when he passed it.
Okay, so your car was like right there, basically on the road that he was on. You just kind of turned off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like I said, I was drunk, but
I understand.
At the same time, I don't want to give away certain people.
Okay, and I'm not concerned really about the other people. I'm just concerned that I have enough information that I can say.
Why does it really matter if you can say I can do it or not?
Because
I'm in jail anyways. I'm not.
Right, but if I go back to Clearwater and I can tell my supervisor and I can tell our chief of police that, yeah, I'm confident that Leo Boatman did this murder, we don't need to investigate it anymore. We just need to wait until he's done with all of his deal up in Marion County, and then he'll talk to us about this one. Then that's fine. But if I go back and I say, well, I can't say that he did it, then, we got to still keep investigating it. We got to go out and, talk to people and everything like that. I just need to be able to feel confident that you did this.
Carl was in that really good place. So, it sounds like someone saw the car anyways. I'm not going to get the car.
Is the car orange and blue?
Burnt orange?
I'm not going to get the car.
Leo, you can give us that.
Is it a burnt orange? It is, isn't it?
It can look a lot different, though. It can look, you don't know what color. I mean, the lights, the way the paint job. It's a unique paint job.
How many doors?
4 doors.
4 doors. Is it an old Chevy Caprice?
It's a box.
Okay. All right. Well,
I said square box.
Okay.
But I can't. I mean, giving you a car is giving you the person that was driving it.
So if you tell us this car, we're going to go, oh, that's so and so's car, right?
So you can't say.
I mean, is this some person that we know? Probably being police officers in Clearwater.
Yeah,
this is some person that we know.
I mean, yeah, he sells. I don't know if y'all know him. Don't got police paying down.
Okay, and the guy that actually owns the car, you said, was a white guy, right? The other guys were black, but that guy's a white guy.
Driving.
But you do realize by telling us the car that it doesn't. Still, we don't know who's driving it because those guys, more than one person drive those cars.
The guy that was driving the car is small.
White guy, small white guy.
He ain't taller than me. I mean, he's not humongous, but he's not somebody I'd be physically scared of.
Okay. Keep a hold of those. All right. And if you want to talk to us, we'll be happy to come back up if you've got more information or anything else you want to tell us. Okay? All right. Take care, Leo.
Yeah, somebody's gonna do it with me.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, somebody's gonna do it with me.
Okay.
This has not worked out completely in favor of the interrogators. Leo has given a lot of assisting information, but the strategy has failed to make Leo confess to the Ocala murders, which was their main objective. The one element that is consistent in all of Leo's violence is lack of definite motive or a purpose. There are layers of violence buried in Leo's past, but in this first part of Leo's short life, he was the victim. Born on July 7th, 1986 in a psychiatric ward, Leo was the result of forced assault. During his early childhood, his mother both him and his sister before dying in 1994 and leaving him orphaned at the age of 8. Yet the continued. First at the hands of his grandmother, who took them in, but played favorites and took it out on Leo. Later in foster care, he again became the victim of molestation. There was no middle ground for Leo. As soon as he stopped being a victim, he was a perpetrator. By the age of 12, Leo had already taken a one-way ticket to the world of crime, leaving the important question with the judicial system: what could stop Leo if not a life sentence? Shortly after this interrogation, on November 9th, 2022, Leo's sentence of life imprisonment was changed to capital punishment.
I think what Mr. Boatman may ultimately be trying to do is actually get himself to death row because he wants to get out of close management, because he's grating at the fact that he's under close management. He doesn't want to be in close management anymore. He's done all these things in the state prison system to try and get in the good graces.
Well, like commit multiple murders? I mean, it's like...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Is that rational? Do rational people do that? No. I don't think that that's cold and calculated. I think that leads to a certain level of mental illness. Something is wrong here.
I think to the contrary, that reflects a degree of rationality. He had a goal and he understood that committing the murder would get him where he wanted to be. That sounds pretty connected to reality, don't you think? Sounds like motive.
It's a double-edged sword. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And as lawyers, we can argue both sides of that double-edged sword.
William Cervoni, state attorney in Florida's 8th Judicial Circuit, called the killing of Chapman exceedingly. Leo Boatman came into the world because of violence, and now he waits on the death row to exit because of the violence. Yet there are actually a number of people who believe Leo did not stand a chance because of the and trauma he had suffered since childhood. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you found today's video interesting, please consider subscribing to our channel, hit that like button, and share our videos. Also, if you have any crime stories that you'd like us to cover, leave us a message in the comments section.